Hey everybody, I'm here with Christian of West Coast Armor, and Christian and I have known each other for a very, very long time, and we've always carried his armor because it's, in my opinion, some of the best on the market, hands down. Light, durable, strong, and it's amazing. So I wanted to come to you and bring some questions to him with the Barely Five, and we'll get on to the next question. All right, Christian, question number one.
Mhm.
What is the difference in the plate levels? Like, I know there's three, 3A, four, four. It's a very confusing situation. So why don't you shed some light on that?
So starting with 3A is going to be your standard, usually soft armor,
Okay.
and that's what law enforcement's wearing. That's going to stop your 12 gauge shotgun, 44 Magnum, 357 SIG, and anything kind of in between those,
Okay.
right? So usually that's going to be soft armor. We actually do make a hard press plate that's less than a pound that, people absolutely love. But again, you can get, a different type of material and things can get heavier and things can get lighter. And a lot of it comes down to you're paying for weight and flexibility when it comes to the 3A. The level 3 is your next step up, which is rifle rated. And that's going to stop your 308, your 5.56, anything that's not a armor piercing round. Right. So once you get into armor piercing, you're going to start needing the ceramics. And that's where you get into the 3+ and then the level 4s, which are rated for 30-06 black tips.
Okay. So these two are essentially the same. They're both 3A, just
Mhm.
soft and hard. This is for like law enforcement, where more comfortability, and this is more like plate carrier stuff, right?
Correct. So if you're gonna, wear something for 8 hours a day, this is gonna be far more comfortable
Right,
than
right.
wearing the actual plate, but it just depends on the application.
Okay, awesome. Question number two. And this is a tricky one, what made you decide to keep everything in the US? I know that's rare these days, but what made you decide to do that?
Trust, right? I'm just gonna break it down. It just comes down to trust,
Yeah.
right? So I have to trust my raw material suppliers. Hence, Dyneema, we use SB115, Honeywell, Goldflex, right? Spectra. I don't trust anything that I haven't seen perform for many, many years. So that's number one, raw material supply chain. Number two is the accountability in the US. You have no accountability once you leave the United States, right? In the United States, I'm held to ISO certifications and NIJ certifications, and there's a manufacturing practice that has to be held identically every time. And that starts from raw material supply chain all the way up to the finished product. You don't get a 5-star Michelin rated restaurant serving you frozen fish sticks. It all starts with those raw ingredients, and the best ingredients are made right here in the US.
Oh, okay. All right. Question number three pertains to this. This is a plate carrier you gave me as a prototype a long time ago. It's M81, which in Southern California does mean nothing on camo, but the street cred is
yeah, but you look good.
Street cred is through the roof, but it is by far one of the most comfortable plate carriers I've ever worn. The whole thing weighs nothing. I have your 3A hard plates in it, and it's just insanely comfortable. So tell me a little bit what goes into the designing of your carriers to go with your plates.
So a lot of throwaway, just like cooking good food, you're going to throw a lot of it away, right? So we'll make a design and I'll give it to people like you and other subject matter experts that are actually running the gear and say, what can I do to make this better, right? And it starts with, comfort, right? Really, it comes down to the angles of the cuts and how they fit on your body, how that hangs, how the weight's distributed, and then how snug that you can keep that against your body, right? Because armor flopping around is not very good. You want your gear snug up against you.
Yeah.
So these are just things that through trial and error, and then again, raw materials. So, 500D Cadora, we use DuPont 66 fibers on all the stitching, and we double stitch everything. So all of your perimeter stitching is all double stitched for extra strength. And I got guys that weigh, 300 pounds doing pull-ups on these things, no problem. So, we really run it through the ringer before we let it get to anybody.
Nice. Like I said, this is my favorite one to wear. It is. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. It's so comfortable. It's the best. So awesome.
That was what we were going for.
Yeah, perfect. So you're a business in California, Southern California, just like me, and I know that's a struggle. So we won't get into that. But other than living in California and doing business in California, what's been the biggest struggle of the company?
Well, I think time, right? So if you're going to trust something, you need to see it perform over time. So when a company started, we launched, I think 3 weeks before COVID shut down, right? Right in that zone. And so, law enforcement wasn't doing any business, and it just takes time to start earning people's trust, which we have been. We've, a lot of people got the product in their hands, and a lot of guys are wearing it downrange, Ukraine, all over the place. And so we're protecting, our guys, and we feel really good about that. But I would say that, it's just time. And the more people use the product, the more they see it. When you hold something like this, it's kind of like this isn't going to stop a bullet, right? That's the reaction we get.
Yeah.
Exactly. So once people get out and they run the product, they see it, we have a customer for life.
Yeah, yeah. I know you gave me a plate personally to say, go shoot this. And I was like, you sure? Like, and you're like, yeah, absolutely, go shoot it. And I went and shot it, hands down impressed. Like, it was crazy. We put so much into it. And I know you're not saying this, 100% you're not saying this. I personally saw the 3A stop a 223 round and I was blown away. Like, your stuff is awesome. And you've definitely put in the time to make it that way.
It's over-engineered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got you get no second chance.
Yeah, yeah.
So U.S. source stuff and made properly, you know, how else do you earn trust, right? Yeah. Consistency and making sure that place performs just as good as the one that you shot.
Right.
Right, that's really the key.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Last question of the 5. What can we expect next?
New stuff. So actually, we came out with our 3A side plates right here. So these things weigh less than a half a pound. Jeez. Check that out. And they're bomb frag rated. All of our armor's bomb frag rated as well. So what's really nice about that is, you know, guys downrange running heavy side plates, they didn't like that. A lot of them just toss them. Yeah. This is something at, you know, a half pound, you're going to forget you have it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was kind of our next step into, you know, redeveloping the side plate, you know, and what has been, we look for problems that we can create solutions for. We don't, we do, you know, what the problems exist. And a lot of companies just try to come out with something new. They're not really solving anything. They're just putting a new color on it or, you know, a new cut or whatever it may be. Yeah. So, you know, actually solving an issue in the field is really what our mindset is and where it's at for the next few years.
Yeah. I mean, this is truly reinventing the wheel, but in the right way, right? I know personally, I have 3A plates sitting in my closet at home that I won't run because they're too heavy, they're too bulky, but this changes that completely. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, man. Thank you very much. It's been awesome knowing you, and you've been a great friend of my previous company, Gunfighter Tactical, and then this one, Barely Training. And just want to say thank you for everything you've done, and you know, keep up the good work. And obviously, I'm still running everything, and you'll be
testing those. So perfect.
So thank you for having us, and we'll look forward to the future.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. All right, guys. See you next time.